Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with the click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks real talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for how early we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, with the side. My entourage be on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in 10 books. As they cook my game plan, and my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that's the things we ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. And we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We trace the logo when there's space that appear like Squarespace. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. And City Dex is on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like Star Divine to Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Yo, good evening, everybody. What's good? What's good? What's good? Knicks real talk. We in the building. Divine, partner crime shot. We in the building. We gonna get into it. Talk about this Knicks talk tonight. We got a lot of good things going on tonight. We like to talk about. Obviously, we in the trade room with Zion and Zach. Obi Toppin on the move. Reaction to the Julius Randle podcast. Julius Randle on Paul Podcast P. I think that's going to be interesting. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA draft. Obviously, the Knicks don't have no picks in there. That don't mean we won't get up there and get any. So we're going to see if the Knicks can get in there and get a pick in there, and what's the reason why they want to get in there and get a pick. So we're going to get into all that. But first and foremost, let me bring my partner in crime, my brother. What's good? Shaw Powers, what's popping?
Salute to the chat. Salute to you, Divine. Let's get it.
Yeah. Real talk, man. Salute to the chat and everybody, man. Thank y'all for coming in tonight. Like I said, man, all season we in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe button, man. Coming in and coming out and going out and all that good stuff, man. But we in here, man. We got over 1,000 subscribers, man. And I'm just so grateful for everything that Shaw Powell and everybody else did to help the channel grow. So y'all make sure I got the membership thing popping up. We get into it more. I let y'all know what the perks is. It's different levels to it. Knicks real talk, level 1, level 2, level 3. Memberships and everything. So we're gonna get into all that later on down the line. Y'all just stay notified, stay locked in, and we'll get into that as we move forward. But first and foremost, like tonight, man, the trade rumors is heating up. Two of the biggest ones out there, obviously, Shaw Powers, Zion Williamson and Zach LaVine. The biggest thing that's going on out there. It's some really good talk about that. And then let me say before I move on with my conversation, I apologize for that. JJ Salute, Johnny Davis, Frank Mato, everybody in the South. Salute to you guys, man. I appreciate y'all coming in. But yeah, getting back to the topic. Zion, with the situation out there, it seemed like that was heating up, at least out there in the atmosphere all over the internet and stuff like that. How real it is, we don't know, have no idea. But the Zach LaVine thing is heating up. So, that's very interesting. So we're going to get into them two topics first, Shaw Powell, because, that's major. I mean, Zion might want to get out of New Orleans, love New York, like to play in New York, want to be drafted by New York. So that's a really interesting thing. But in the same sense, who the Knicks going to give up for him? What would the Knicks give up for him? We got players like Julius Randle who the Knicks love. But that's specific that Zion Williamson play. So if they did happen to go along with that, how would that work for the Knicks? Because if you do move Zion to New York, then and if you play the way we probably constructed, that's going to be a tough 3-point shooting team. It's not going to be too good out there from the 3-point line with him and RJ. Other than Grimes and Brunson, those cats can knock it down from out there. But overall, I mean, he's a transcendent player, one of the best young cats in the game when he's on the court, obviously. But he's one of them dynamic dudes, man. That trust me, I'm telling you, his skill set is amazing with the athleticism that he have. So if the Knicks would want to bring in a guy like that into the building, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think about this Zion thing? What should the Knicks give up Shaw Powers, and how would you go about it? For as what would you want to see if he did come to the Knicks, and what would you want to see leave out hypothetically if that were to happen?
Well, first thing first, if we bring it in Zion, the trade more than likely has to include Julius Randle. You know what I mean? You cannot have Julius Randle and Zion on the court together. There's no way that you're going to see those two guys on the court. So that would probably be the first thing. Do I want to give up Julius Randle for Zion? I don't know. And I mean, he has a lot of risk of along with him, and it's not going to be just Julius Randle. If I'm not mistaken, Zion is about 36 million, somewhere around there, 30 something million or something like that, and Julius Randle only 20 something million, 25, 6, 7 million. So we would
28, excuse me, 28 million.
28, and what was Zion, about 36 or something like that, right?
He's 35, but you wouldn't have to do nothing because this was in that 60% threshold. I think it is.
Oh yeah. Oh well, if it's straight up 1-on-1 or something like that, might be something to reconsider, man. I mean, if you get this guy Zion over here, and all those games that he was sitting out and didn't play and DNPs and all that stuff, and he comes over here and it gives you 42 games and he's still healthy before the All-Star break, it's a win. It's a big win, but that is the caveat. If he comes over here and he's playing, I'm pretty sure Tom Thibodeau, if he did get him over here, he would probably be on some limited restriction. We may have a chance of holding on to Obi Toppin then, because Obi may get a couple of more minutes a game until Zion get really acclimated and really seems like he's healthy and stuff like that. That is a big gamble, you know what I mean? And me, I think I want to stay away from that gamble. You know what I mean? If he's still on a contract, and he may, unless they giving up something cheaper for him or something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, anything is possible. But I know if he came here and gave 65 games, you know what I mean, good all beginning of the season, a little lackluster towards the middle of the season, get hurt or something like that, but be back after the All-Star break and bring it all the way home for the next 25 games plus the playoffs. We are a deadly team then, you know what I mean? On the hindsight, we'd be missing that three-point shooting that Julius Randle gives us. You know what I mean? He shoots a lot of threes, but he makes a lot of threes as well. You know what I mean? So it's a big gamble. But to see Zion here with the excitement that he can bring, the driving to the hole, and he can pass the ball a little bit. He get a couple of rebounds. I'm not sure how many rebounds he gets a game, but it would be that would be something that we would really have to think about, because if we get this guy over here and we paying him $30-something million and he's going to be out 38 games, I'd rather have Julius than to have him.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, we get into all that. Salute to the chat, man. Salute to Parrish, salute to Craig, Dave Stevens, salute to everybody. Once Nick, always Nick, salute to you guys. Yeah, for me, if you look at everything in totality and you go through all the variables and everything with this stuff, I do think Zion, my trepidation has always been, his how do I say, to stay healthy. Let's say his knack to stay healthy. But make no mistake about it, the cat got generational talent, athletic, everything. But like you said, it really goes to the point of where he gonna be when it comes to staying healthy. And that's that's my only trepidation with him is the health. I don't care about all the other stuff that's going on within his life. That's personal. They got nothing to do with the basketball court unless it affected what he do on the basketball court. If it don't affect what he do on the basketball court, who he want to date, who he want to have a relationship with, that's his business. That ain't got nothing to do with what we doing here. So, from that standpoint, that's the only thing I don't have a problem with. Now, that it's just like you said, Sao Paulo, the injuries part of it. And when you injure like the way he is, it just throws everything out of sync. You know what I mean? Throw the team out of sync, throw the chemistry out of sync. When you do come back, then everybody got adjusted to what you do because you're the prime dude.
Right.
So, it's tough. That's some money. But if you look at the numbers, let's say we did make the trade, and you got John Williamson, $33.5 million, trade to the Knicks. Obviously, Julius Randle traded to the Pelicans. And this is what your team will look like. This just dealing with them two players. We know it can other be things involved, but Zion, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, then you got Quentin Grimes and Jalen Brunson. Obviously, but the backcourt would be pretty decent. But that front line will be a hot mess when it comes to downtown shooting. Percentages is just not there.
Thanks.
But what's amazing, the man got a 25 PER. Julius Randle got a 20 PER. So his player efficiency rating is there. He getting you the points pretty much what Julius Randle getting you from that perspective. So 26 points a game, Randle 25 a game, 7 rebounds. He get about 5 more assists more than Randle, obviously. So I mean, the kid can get it. He can get it, and his number. I like the contract. I'm good with the contract because the contract is pretty much going to be Zion contract going to be in the 30 for for a while now. And if you look at it, he's getting 33, 36, 38, 41, 44. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Plus, with the CBA going up next to like 134 million or something like that. So 134. So I mean, I think they just can deal with that easy with the other expiring contract they got. But
7 rebounds. Wow.
Yeah, and he's not a bad rebounder for his height. You know what I mean? So 6'6" max. Yeah, there you go, 6'6", and he getting you 7 rebounds. He's 6'6", he getting more than RJ and them. You know what I mean? He's shorter than them guys because his athleticism. That's what he rely on. I like that PER though. 25.2. I mean,
we need to get this guy. His birthday's one day before mine, July 5th.
So if you look at his numbers, I mean, they not bad. I'm not mad at that contract though. You know what I mean? And he don't have a no trade clause.
It's not a bad contract for an all-star. Yeah,
right. Right. Don't have a player option. You know what I mean? So it looks pretty good right there. And opposed to our guy who we have now, Julius Randle. If you look at his contract, it's not bad. He going to the he already did that. He only got 90 million left on that contract, 90-something million, 28, 30, and 32. So it ascends only by 2 million per year. But that last year is a player option. So no matter, I don't care if Julius Randle to break his leg, he can opt in and get that money. So but I still like the contract opposed to Zion contract, so a lot of people are not going to really want that to happen, but some do, some don't. Shot powers, but for me, it's like you have to go with the longevity and the durability and all that stuff as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how does Zion and Julius, because that's the only player I can see really you giving up, unless you giving up Mitchell Robinson, a couple of other guys, and you play small ball. I mean, because you ain't putting Julius Randle on a bench and Zion on the bench. You know what I mean? And you ain't there. Unless you put Quentin Grimes on the bench, move RJ down to the 2, Zion to the 3 at 6'6". I mean, he's not a great shooter, but everything else, it don't matter. He still get what he get. And then you got Julius Randle at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson. You would have to be able to pull that off. If you didn't have to put Julius Randle in there and you had to put somebody else, but the Knicks got certain type of contracts they might can get that off with though.
I mean, there's a way. I forgot who I was watching, but there was a way that the guy got Zion and LaVine, and we still we like 9 million, 8-9 million in the lower tax already, but we're not at that luxury tax. We got about, I think it was 19 million or 17 million before we hit that tax. Mm-hmm. I mean, with those 2 trades, we were still, right under the tax, by about $4 million. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it can happen, and we still have the asset to use that $12 million, you know what I mean? But it's not that I think if he came here and he was healthy, man, if he was healthy, they wouldn't be trading him. You know what I mean? Right. If he was healthy, they wouldn't be trading him, because him and BI together with oh man, the guy named C that came from
CJ
McCullough. You know what I mean? That's all, and they got a nice little bench, but the center bench. Man, I'm messing the names up tonight. But their team is they got a solid team over there, man. If just BI and this guy stayed healthy, they could actually almost try to take over the West, man. I could see them in the top 5 in the West over there, man. They have some scorers, they have some guys that could take over the game, and they have some high energy guys, man. So but That's if they're trying to get off of him, that means that they seeing that just because he made the statement that he wants to leave, you know what I mean? He's on contract. He's on the contract. He doesn't necessarily. They don't have to do anything if they don't want to. But it's just that injury that thing is lingering. And if you remember, Embiid was hurt in his first couple of years. So was Curry, and these guys ended up to be all-star, all NBA, all NBA, all stars, MVPs. You know, these guys end up turning out to be something special. You know what I mean? But is that the risk that we want to take with this guy coming here? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and for the bigger thing for me, my interpretation is how would the Knicks play offense? Because a guy like Zion, you know, what the good thing about him that he can score off the dribble. That's a good thing because we got a lot of one-on-one basketball. And I don't even know it's about design. I just think that because the guys that we got, I think some people might think that this is the type of top offense, Tom Thibodeau running. I think the problem is that we got them the type of guys that we have.
Exactly.
I don't think it's so much because I have seen the Knicks share the ball plenty of time, but I would love to see a point guard who also is more pass first with a guy like Zion. You know what I mean? Like you know, like right now, Jalen Brunson, you know, great as he is for the New York Knicks. You know, I think he's a shoot first point guard. He's a scorer, and you know, so that might limit what Zion could do in the air. Like Mitchell Robinson can limit what they do in the air. You know, per se. But if you sending out Jules, which I very don't think the Knicks gonna do that. I think the Knicks gonna lie, and we'll talk about that down on that when we talk about him on the podcast. But I would just have to say I'm good with Zion if he stay healthy. If he stay healthy, bring him to New York. That's all I can say. Any player for that matter. We got to take a risk with all these players, man. You know, I mean, it's just the NBA is rigorous. They go through a lot of injuries. They working out all the time. They on the court all the time. So I do think it's something that we just got to hope that it just works out and the man don't get injured and he could be around and be able to perform for the New York Knicks. But other than that, I don't have a problem with Zion because, like I said, he's a generational talent, man. This cat got skills, man. What I mean by skills, that he used what force he got in his game to make it a certain type of skill. Like he got a skill for going hard. He got a skill for you got a skill. I'm not saying he's skillful where he got all the techniques and the mechanics like some savvy dude, but where he skilled that is jumping. He skilled that force. He got a nice inside game, you know, a power game, and he's skilled at doing that. So I like that about him. You know, like I said, Julius Randle, for me, that's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard for me, man. I'm a Julius Randle guy. I like Julius Randle. I think he paid a dude in New York. He came here and took on a challenge. He accepted it and rolled with it.
So no one wanted to come here.
Right. So that's the only reason, like, you know, I'm fine. You know, I would do it if Julius Randle wanted it done. Put it like that. If Julius Randle wanted it done. Because, like I said, man, prior to him coming here, I don't want to make this about Julius Randle. I'm just trying to put a point on why I would do the trade or why I wouldn't do the trade. I think they got the same numbers, but I think Zion electrified New York. He'll turn this thing into a crazy place to play. And I think his skill set speaks for itself. You know what I mean? You know, it don't matter if you ain't, like I said, we ain't on the court shop house. But I think that's one of the biggest things when I heard that the other day. You know, because the Charlotte Hornets, so they want Brandon Ingram, not Zion, for that second pick. And I understand that because Brandon Ingram, Kingston, North Carolina, I get it. And you know, he probably stay on the court more than him. And they're bringing a Carolinian back to Carolina. I can understand why they would want that. You know what I mean? I just still think they want everything to go with the Zion thing right there. But I don't have a problem with it because if he come here, if you could make it here, you can make it anywhere in New York. You know what I mean, per se. So we'll see what the jury's out on Zion Williamson, man. But let me ask y'all a question, ladies and gentlemen. The Zach LaVine thing is popping off out there kind of crazy the last day or hours, from what I hear. What's his name? Stephen Bondi. Yeah, you know, here's my thing. I don't have a problem with Zach LaVine, ladies and gentlemen. You know, his last couple of years he been playing pretty good. He's pretty healthy. He's been staying on the court, you know, and the cat got game, you know, the cat could get it. With the basketball, he could get it from outside, good mid-range game, got a good transition game. He can light it up. He can get, when that boy get on, when Zach LaVine is on, that boy can score the ball. He can score the ball, man. And so You know, he's another guy that's literally just out there right now. That's name being mentioned. And what I like about that trade, I think what people keep putting RJ in that trade. I don't think you got to put RJ in that trade. I think you could put trade the two buddies in that trade. We might lose. You could lose either one of them anyway. Put Emmanuel quickly, Obi Toppin. I would go Evan Fournier and some picks. Because I think Obi might be traded on draft night, if not before or the day after. I think the Knicks going to turn Obi Toppin to a draft pick, and we'll talk about that because that'll be the next segment going up the Obi Toppin situation. But Zach LaVine in that starting lineup at the 2 with Jalen Brunson, him. If you did keep RJ Randle, and Mitchell Robinson, the Knicks got a chance to get to the Eastern Conference Finals with that team. That's just straight fire right there to me. That'd be probably one of the most prolific backcourts in the East right now. Jalen Brunson and Zach LaVine would probably be one of the most prolific backcourts in the Eastern Conference, damn it, in the NBA. The way that thing go down, because them boys can get the job done with the ball, and they don't get each other away. Because I like Zach LaVine play more of a catch and shoot, and then he can put the ball on the floor. He's not crazy. He's not one of them off the dribble type dude, shot power. That's why I like it, because see, RJ or Randall and them, they can either catch and shoot. They don't move off the dribble. They move off the dribble to a camera to say they go downhill. But Zach LaVine, like, you could throw in the ball, he could drop it. You know what I mean? Like catch and shoot, bang, put the ball easy. And I think that would make the Knicks more prolific having a dude like him because of the way he played basketball. Not so much the way, not that he's better than this guy, I want him because I don't want this guy. But I'm looking at from how the team would how would I say, play together. That cat, you throwing that ball on that wing, you better get up on him. You better, you know what I mean? And if you get up on him, you got the athleticism to get around you and do whatever. So I mean, it's one of the things with me, shot power, that I would have the Knicks would have to seriously look at that. Like I said, I don't have a problem with that cat coming to New York Knicks, man, playing a 2 or the 3. I don't. And that would be very interesting to see would the Knicks do that, man. And you never know. What's your thought on that, man? Would you like to have Zach LaVine here? And do you think that's something that the Knicks can that they can incorporate him into this team and take him another step further?
Zach LaVine. I was big on Zach LaVine. I'm still big on Zach LaVine. And from the stat wise, comparing him to RJ Barrett, he beats out RJ Barrett in every stat. His efficiency, his drives to the basket, his 3-point shooting, his mid-range shooting. He beats him in rebounding. He beats him in almost everything. His player effectiveness, he beats RJ. His defense, he beats RJ. He beats RJ in every one of those categories. But the caveat to that is Zach LaVine is 27 years old, almost 28 years old, and RJ is 23 years old. You know what I mean? That's the difference. Zach LaVine's been in the league 5, 6, 7 years. He's been in the league 7 years or so. RJ's only been in the league 4 years. This guy, has made All-Star. You can't take away from Zach LaVine. The guy's made All-Star. Now, has he propelled his team to help them in the playoffs? He's done what he needs to do, but it's also not just him sometimes. Everybody puts the pressure on him by himself. It's also about him and his team. What has his team done? I seen Zach LaVine in one of the games recently score 24 points in the fourth quarter. The guy just took over the fourth quarter. He just killed the fourth quarter, shooting threes, running to the basket, dunking it on people. I would like Zach LaVine here, and if we could get him to stay with RJ, that would be even better. But the package that I came up with to get Zach LaVine is RJ Barrett. We re-signed Rose. Maybe did I do that right? Evan Fournier, 19, and Rose is 15, and RJ is 25. So that's too much money. So it would probably have to be RJ Rose, the 24th, the Detroit pick, the 25th first round pick from Milwaukee, and our 21st, our 21st pick from the New York. That would probably make them want to get off of him.
Oh, okay. So if you look at it, for when I just did a trade for you, Zach LaVine 4 year, $40 million. Obviously, when you put Derrick Rose and RJ Barrett, that will work. That's $38 million. But like I said, the thing I try to look at these numbers, these cats putting up 19 PER, not bad, 24.8 a game, 5 rebounds almost 5 assists, 4.5, 4.2. RJ numbers, PER, that's the killer shot power, the 12
10 points better, right? In my life.
Yeah, basically, yeah, PER is like, and that's what RJ got to get better at right there, his efficiency. We know that's been a problem. That's not
play efficiency.
Yeah, his efficiency has always been an issue. 1960 game, but his and his Zach LaVine, they both got the same rebounds, and Zach LaVine obviously a better passer at the time than RJ Barrett. Derrick Rose, that's just a aspiring deal there to go there and be home in Chicago and mentor them guys. The money is not a problem to me because, like I said, you think you do got to put Derrick Rose in there because that's a Chicago thing. If they anything they want to do, they want to honor that, or you could have just had put
Evan Fournier
to give him 2 more years, another year of money to match that year with Zach LaVine, so we're not eating everything that next year. But I wouldn't have a problem with Zach LaVine. I really don't. This cat got game, ladies and gentlemen. You look at his numbers. He does got that 2020-26 player option for $49 million. But like I said, the salary cap is going up. It's no big deal. But he's 40, 43, 45, 48. I think a lot of people get caught up in the money shot power sometime right now in this NBA. But they got to also remember that a lot of this stuff is going up and the revenue sharing, blah, 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 and all this stuff. But I still think if it wouldn't be bad for us because if you did have to send out RJ, you really eating like, because RJ numbers are sent too. I put that up there in a minute. You eating probably a little under half of that, close to half. But I think the biggest thing right now, he got 40 years, 40 million left, 43, 45, 48. He'd be the only player making that type of money on the Knicks roster. Then you look at RJ Barrett. See this, his numbers are sent as well. He got 23, 25, 27, 29. That's damn that his contract almost double what RJ making. You know what I mean? But like I said, depending on what you're trying to do, you can move either one of them players at any time because they that good. They're not going to hamper your organization because they that talented unless injuries and something happen. But that would be one I have to really monitor shot powers. And I like Zach LaVine, real talk, and that trade makes sense. But I tell you what, I still think you can get him without giving him RJ. I think you just got to go to the Obi Toppin, Emmanuel quickly, and whatever salary filler, and maybe 3 picks. I think people don't realize it's not so much we got to give up a lot to get Zach LaVine because sometimes you got to look at they got to be, if they want to get rid of Zach LaVine, they can't be greedy. You know what I mean? Because they got to realize, you. It's not like everything the ball is in your court. You don't want to give them up, so we ain't like we pressure for one to get them. If you want to give up Obi Toppin, if you want to give up Zach LaVine in the trade, and you got a $200 million contract, you don't have to. The ball is not really in your control. You know what I mean? Because the other thing, like, why you want to? We don't want that big contract. Why we gonna give up all our stuff to take on his big contract? You need to help us out. You know what I mean? And that's that could be the dynamics with that thing as well. It's like, so I could see 2 picks going with that trade. Not like Donovan Mitchell 5'7". You taking on almost a $200 million contract. So obviously the Knicks will be like, nah, you want to play, we can play, but we ain't going out like that. So I think you can get it done with certain players in a couple of picks. I think it might be the way to go for them. If they do that, I don't have a problem with it. Because I'll tell you what, Jalen Brunson, like I said, Zach LaVine in the backcourt.
I'm just saying, man.
And that's prolific right there, bro. I mean, like, you literally gonna, and then you got Julius Randle at the 4. That's a hard team to deal with, man. And Zach LaVine takes the pressure off of Julius Randle because they all can do the same thing. So it'll be really interesting to see, but it would really, really be interesting to see if the Knicks do that off. But it's been out there in the atmosphere the last 24 hours. Zach LaVine, Chicago, searching around, seeing what they can get for him. How real it is, we don't know, guys. I'm just going out about what's off of Twitter, what's off of Bleacher Report, what's off of all the other channels out there, and other news streams out there that's giving you this information. It's not something that I got sources from. That we Knicks were talking about. We're not even out there like that. We will be one day, but we're not right now. But it's a good trade for the Knicks if you want to. I think put them in there, it makes the Knicks legit. It really does. It makes the Knicks legit because now there ain't gonna be too much double teaming. You got a guy who can bust his own shot power. He can bust his own open.
He can bring the ball up too.
Yeah, bring the ball up and transition. I like it, man. Like I said, and if you look at it, he played pretty good for a minute. He played like 70 some games this year. The last couple of years, he's been pretty much healthy. So I mean, it might be a good thing for the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. What you guys think, man? Y'all on the Zach LaVine train? I'm sorry. Would y'all think y'all would like to have him here? And if he is, if you do, then that might be something that might be others really out there. And I don't have a problem with it one way or another. I don't worry about the money too much. The Knicks will work that out. Brock Allah work all that out. He'll work all of it out.
They'll make it work.
Yeah, real talk. So that's where we at with that. For that. But let's see, man. It's other names out there, but them the biggest two names that actually been out there per se. In the last 36, 24 hours, them two guys right there that's pretty much been out there. You know what I mean? And I don't, like I said, for the Zion, the Julius Randle, I just think the Knicks is highly on this guy, man. It's gonna be something interesting. Don't get me wrong, they didn't bring him here neither. Leon Rose and World Wide West them didn't bring him here. Scott Perry leaving, so you never know what could happen, but. I just don't see the Knicks just totally moving on for him. But let me ask you a question, Shaw Powers. Obi Toppin, ladies and gentlemen, his name is out there. It's pretty much interesting with the thing going on with these guys. What do you think of this Obi situation? Do you think the Knicks gonna get and move this cat on and move on to somebody else, or do you think that he will be here? I think Obi Toppin is pretty much out of here. I would literally say he's out of here, ladies and gentlemen. It's no fault of his own. I just think that he's out. So we had to see. Anna Parks, what's going on? Salute. Thank you for coming in, and appreciate you. Real talk.
Yeah. That's wifey coming on her other account. Punching her forehead.
That's all good, but don't put on flash, my man.
Wind it up on her. Wind it up.
But yeah, man, Obi Toppin, ladies and gentlemen. According to Stephen Bondi, unhappy, never really put out there in the media last year. What do we think, man? You think it's time for him to get and close the chapter on Obi Toppin again and try to get a pick in the draft for him or put him in a trade to get him somewhere where he can get time to play? Because I do think that that shit doesn't sell. I just think it's time to move on for Obi Toppin. Not because I wanted to. I love Obi Toppin, but the man want to kind of prosper his career and get to a place where he can't get yet because of the Knicks situation. The man, 25 years old now, he's getting up there in age and everything like that, or more. He want to probably capitalize when he off his career before it get too late. And I think playing behind Julius Randle is just not going to be that type of thing where he can get a pop. Right. The Knicks might get, and here's the reason why I don't have a problem with the way they do this. If you move Obi Toppin for a draft pick, and even if it's this year, the draft pick is going to cost you the most because it's going to be in the low, whatever, $2 million. Opposed to having to re-sign Obi Toppin for 15 or 16 if you're not going to keep him. So, I think the Knicks might probably want to get up in the draft to get a pick like that because you can find a guy in the draft who might have some type of skill set like Obi Toppin. It might take a couple of years to get him to where he need to go, Shot Powers, but you might can get a guy like Grimes or Quickly with the 25th pick again. And because, you look at Quickly right now, he was the 25th pick. He about to get his bag before Obi Toppin. You know what I mean? Right. And stuff like that. And Quentin Grimes, he was the 25th pick, and he's starting before Obi Toppin. So it's not because of Obi Toppin is not talented, it's because of the situation that the Knicks got him in with Julius Randle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you think, man? You think it's time to get an capitalize and let the chips come in and get something for him before it get too late? Because I just think they're gonna move him. I don't think Obi Toppin to be here. I'm only assuming. I hate to do that because I want to make it out of myself, but in my gut feeling, let's put it like that, from a guesstimation standpoint, I think he might be out of here.
Obi Toppin, he's done well over here in the New York Knicks, and I think that it's time for him. With some of the stuff that I heard out there, I don't know how much the hoopla is about him being mad about not getting certain minutes, and he wants to play basketball. And one of those reasons that when Randle was down, when him and RJ went at each other, was because he wanted to, showcase his talents. You know what I mean? That's why they was out there bickering a little bit. All that hoopla. I'm not sure if it's true, but could sound kind of right. The way they're talking about it, and this thing where they said that they came to an agreement and all this stuff. I think he goes. I'm hoping that they just don't let him go for picks. You know what I mean? He was an 8th round pick, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think he was the 8th round pick, 7th or 8th round pick, and to trade him back to a 26th or 29th pick, even though it's for business wise, it just, to Indiana is the only one that I could see that they do that for. But I do have a trade for him if they want to trade off of him to send it to a perfect team right now. I think Washington is going to blow it up. You know what I mean? I think they're really going to blow it up. They already got rid of that big. It looks like they're about to blow it up. And Washington right now is looking for young players with young contracts that they could, that they can, cater to, and they're looking for draft picks, and they're looking for aspiring contracts. And you know what the Knicks have? All of those things. I could see them doing Obi Toppin, Evan Fournier, the first round pick from Milwaukee, and maybe our first round. I think I put our first round pick, the 24th first round pick for KP. You know what I mean? If you want to change it up a little bit, you might can squeeze. And this right here, I don't want to sound like I'm giving up our young guys. And if we're not going to keep IQ, we could also do IQ and Obi. You know what I mean? IQ, Obi, and Evan Fournier, and just maybe the Detroit 24th pick, or
give them theirs give them theirs back.
Yeah, the only reason why, I would offer them that also, but since they're in that tanking mode, they're not going to be, they may not be high, they may be lower than things, so maybe their pick can score higher. I guess that's how it goes. So I definitely have their pick down here too, when it's Evan Fournier and Obi Toppin. So if you want to give these guys somewhere to really breathe, IQ can go to Washington and start. He's from Detroit. He's from Miami. You know what I mean? Obi Toppin played his high school basketball over there, if I'm not mistaken. He played in Maryland, right?
Well, my man quickly from the DMV.
Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin. I think Obi Toppin played in Maryland or somewhere in Washington in his high school years or something like that, So both of those guys will get a chance to go over there and be starting together.
Yeah.
Going over there, starting together with Evan Fournier on an aspiring contract, and give them 1 or 2 picks, or 2 second-round picks and a first, or their pick back, like you said, and 2 second-round picks. They're looking for picks. They're looking for picks. They're looking for young players. You're getting Obi Toppin and IQ. You know what I mean? Don't kill me for saying this, Knicks fans. I'm just trying to, be rational about it. We get KP back. We give Obi up. We give IQ up. We give Evan Fournier up. The aspiring contract, 2 young players, and a first round, and maybe a second round pick. That's what these guys are looking for. I think that can happen. You know what I mean? And with that deal, we still retain that $12 million contract to fill in the gaps where we lose from IQ and from Obi Toppin, which we can get somebody like a Schroeder. We could get somebody like a Seth Curry. We could get somebody like a Lyles. We could get somebody. There's a couple of players that we could sign for $5 or $6 million, $6-7 million with that $12 million with that $12 million to fill up the bench. So something to think about. But I think I think Obi is going to go. I hope he just doesn't go for a 26 pick with him being and going to Indiana. You know what I mean? If we're going to send him somewhere, I hate to say it like this. I don't want to send him to a team to make that team better. You understand what I mean? If we send him to Indiana got a couple of pieces over there with Turner, with Halliburton. They got a couple of pieces. You put Obi over there, and they're going to be a good team. I'm not saying that Washington will be a bad team, but they're rebuilding. So we have a couple of years before that team gets good before we have to really worry about them.
Yeah, for me, I never make these trade assumptions or these trade ideas because that's what I want, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. That's how I'm. Yeah.
I put it out there from a Knicks perspective. It's never about what LaVine wants. I put it out there. What is the Knicks thinking? What is the organization thinking? We can think about who we love, who we don't love, who we should trade, all we want. So we ain't got nothing to do with us. They're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Facts.
So when I speak in terms of trade, I don't want Obi gone. I don't want, but it's what the Knicks can do. It's a lot of variables into this stuff. You can't only think about I want to keep this guy because it's no. What about the contract?
Fact. That's follow the money.
Follow the money. What about why you going? It's gonna be hard to keep Obi Toppin long as you got Julius Randle, long as you got RJ, long. It's gonna be hard to do that. So what do you want this young man to do? Try to sit there behind the Knicks is not trading Julius Randle, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling y'all, the man took us before he came here. We wasn't doing anything. Let's not get it twisted. Before Julius Randle came to New York, we wasn't doing nothing. The man
17 wins. 17 wins, I think, right?
They believe in his talent. I know we get on this cat a lot about certain things, but man, you can't sneeze at 24-10. You can't sneeze at that. And it only 6-7 other players doing that in the NBA. You know what I mean? So, but here's the thing. Obi Toppin need to go somewhere, not because we want him to go somewhere. I want him to go somewhere so he can have a chance to be able to be who he want to be and be able to feed his family the way all the other NBA feed his family. I love I would keep Obi Toppin literally before a lot of them guys, but because that's not the situation that the New York Knicks are in, you have to take Obi Toppin and you're gonna have to lose. You got to lose him. You're not gonna be able to keep all these guys. You're about to give Josh Hart $17 million. You're about to get quickly damn near $20 million. RJ extension just kicked in. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff. And then you got another year from now. What you gonna do with Quentin Grimes? His money coming up. So that's why. That's why I see what the Knicks are doing. They're gonna be like, listen, I'd rather have somebody on a $2 million deal instead of somebody on a $15 million deal because I got these other guys on a $20 million deal. Prime example, the Phoenix Suns. 3 guys, they ain't got enough money. They got so much money out there, they can't bring in no more. They can't even bring it. You know what I mean? So it's really not about Obi Toppin because I'm an Obi Toppin dude, but we got to think about Shaw Powers, like where the Knicks are going. Knicks are fighting they trying to get a championship mode right now. You know what I mean? They not just trying to be. When Jalen Brunson, these cats, they trying to go somewhere. So I think that's why you hear LaVine's out there. You hear the Zions out there. You hear all these big names because I think they in big game mode. Doesn't mean they're not going to depend on what got them there because the Knicks is still a relatively young team. So once you get Evan Fournier and
Derrick Rose.
That's a young team. Julius Randle probably be one of the elder statesmen on the team. You know what I mean? So they still relatively young, but they also still looking to get to the promised land. They know they close. And like Julius Randle said on podcast P, which you go to the next segment, they relatively close. So I just think that the Knicks going to do something to make this team stronger. But I do think we do got to keep in mind that we're not going to be able to keep all these guys. We're just not going to keep them. And I think Obi Toppin, because of the situation he got drafted in and Julius Randle's in acceleration and getting better, and it just hurt him. So whether I don't know if they're going to do it or not, Shaw Powers, but that's why we got Obi Toppin on the move. That's a question mark. But from what I hear out there with Stephen Bondy, and all these guys out there and these news networks, sound like Obi Toppin was been frustrated for a while. He never put out there in the media, but he's been frustrated.
That's what I heard too.
So they might say, you know what? Let's let the man go and get him somewhere. Hey, sometimes you break up. Relationships don't always end the same way. Sometimes you got to get a relationship, and the relationship wind up being over. But I think Obi Toppin relationship with the New York Knicks might be over. and it might be for the benefit of his doubt to go out there and go to a team where he can get some shine and get to show and prove what he can do if the Knicks is not going to let him do it with Julius Randle there. I mean, unless you're going to ship Julius Randle out and then you give Obi Toppin, but I think the Knicks is so close to what they're trying to do, so it's going to be interesting. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting, man. I wouldn't have a problem. You know, I believe in what the Knicks going to do. I trust Leon Rose and them, man. They got it this far, but it's just not so much we could do. It's really depending on what the Knicks want to do. It's all depends on what the Knicks want to do. You know what I mean? We'll see how it goes. The Paris that we had to trade Randall or RJ and upgrade efficiency on the highest salary cap. I agree with you 100% on all that. I agree with you 100% on all that. You know what I mean? But like I said, these guys, they in practice with these guys every day. They in practice with them every day. They understand their games. They see things that we don't even see remotely. You know what I mean? On these guys' game. Listen, I love Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes got to come back this year and shoot 38% from downtown this year.
Facts.
So I love all. I love him. I love Quickly, but Quickly got to come back this year and keep elevating his game. The Knicks might not even make no move, shot power. They might stay way at. They might stand packed and run it back and try to say, you know what? Hopefully this time Quickly have a better playoff. Randall don't be injured. He have a better playoff, and maybe Grimes might come back with a better season than he had last year, more efficient, blah blah blah, and then we'd be good. But we also banking on if they come back and do that. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. It's a scenario for the Knicks, man. You know, because no matter what happens with the Knicks, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You know what I mean? You know, damn if you do, damn if you don't. But I like what we added to the team. I think this team was a really good team this year. Our young guys will come back a little bit more hungry and healthy, and I think they will. RJ, from our hand, RJ looked like he's about 6'8" now. Somebody was saying that he, you know, so you know, and I heard, and I think who else was I hearing somebody saying that my man even got a little taller. One of the Knicks players, Keels. Mr. Robinson said, damn, Kill looked like he got much taller since, you know, the season was over. Because these cats still young, so they still growing.
Right. They still grow to 21, 22. You're right.
Yeah, they still growing. They got a little growth spurt in them, man. So if they come back 6'8", then that power forward position might be a little bit more easy because, you know, like I said, bigger, stronger, a little bit more size. You know, so I don't have a problem with the team we got. I like the starting five for the Knicks. I just got to think that make sure all will come back. But if not, we also got to look at the Mitchell Robinson, his maturation this season coming up. What do Mitchell Robinson want to do that he didn't get to do last year? I really want this cat. My main thing for me with Mitchell Robinson, stay healthy. Put some double numbers up. Get you 2 or 3 blocks a game, and you know, and he keep it moving. But if not, like I said, it all depends what the Knicks gonna do. You're right about that. Once Nick, always Nick. I agree to 100% with that. Obi in the mellow ball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! See, that's another thing. We don't have point guards that do them things because we got a lot of score first point guards. A lot of our guys looking to get their numbers. You know what I mean? We don't have not supreme facilitators out there, Shop Howard. Even this year, Quickly did a lot of Obi Toppin alley-oops, you know, last year. But you know what happened this year? Quickly like, listen, I got to try to get me a bag. So, and what people want to see in the NBA that you could score the ball. So Quickly kind of his passion fell off because he was trying to get his money. You know what I mean? Quickly trying to get his money. So obviously he gonna want to make sure he get his points. Because when the other 29 teams in the NBA look at him, like this cat putting up 19 a game. You know what I mean? And things of that nature. So I think we will see how it goes, man. I think these guys have figured it all out. I think the Knicks have figured it all out. But I do think that's an interesting one. Once they go into Knicks, that's a good spot for him. A really good spot for him.
That is a good spot, and they got some. I think they got some draft. I think they got some people in the draft as well.
Yeah. Dave Stevens, real talk, man. Really open the game usually when we like to get it.
Opening game, baby.
Game, man.
Knicks first home game.
Yeah. We by then, man, we should be well in the sync, man. We get the membership going. We get this thing going. I get some tickets, whatever, man. Let's get up and get it popping, man. It should be fun. I'm with that. But yeah, it's Obi Toppin it's about. I think it's the writings on the wall, not because we want him gone, but I'm the Obi Toppin dude. I just think that because of the way the Knicks is constructed right now and what they're trying to do, we had to literally take a Julius Randle trade to keep Obi Toppin here. And we had to trade. Yeah,
and it really depends on who you pick up too, because if you trade Randall out here and you get Zion here, Obi will get more minutes, but only until Zion is game ready. You know what I mean? Because once he's game ready, he's easily getting 32, 35 minutes a game. You know what I mean? If he could get to his lower waist at 260-ish, 260, I think they talking about like 260. He could get around 260 and stay with that athleticism and that still strong big body. Obi Toppin is not going to get no minutes behind Zion. You know what I mean? So he's that's in a quagmire right here with the Knicks. You know what I mean? And I believe that the Knicks thought about getting Obi because of Julius Randle. The year that he had before they got Obi, he was the twirly derby. He was a Tasmanian devil. He was doing all those spins, those quadruple spins in the paint and all that stuff. I think they thought that we might have to move off of Julius Randle. That year Obi came into the league, Julius Randle had one of the best years he had. You know what I mean? He had that was when he was 24, 10, and 8 or 7 or whatever it was. Made his first All-Star game, all NBA. That pushed Obi way to the back of the burner. Obi came in the league and his footwork wasn't together. He every up fake you gave him, he was flying in the air. You know what I mean? He got better in defense though over time. You know what I mean? Being on the court, the limited minutes that he got, but he started staying on his feet a little bit better. You know what I mean? But he's still playing this year. Obi Toppin, Julius Randle, another phenomenal year. 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's playing behind Julius Randle, and I don't see Julius Randle going nowhere no time soon. I don't even see Julius really going, in a big contract. If we get somebody like an Embiid, Jokic, some crazy names out there. I think Julius Randle is here for his contract. Now next year when he gets closer to that super max, that might be the year that we may be conversating. If he come back this year and have another all-star type of year, this might be the year that they talk about trading him, because that super max that Julius be looking at would be close to $50 million. So that might be something to look for in the next couple of years. But as of now, we're not going to be able to pay Obi Toppin and IQ, especially paying J Hard this money this year. I mean, so it's going to have to be some rough decisions that we have to make. I hope that we can make a trade where we could bring in a player, instead of bringing in a pick. Because if messing with Tom Thibodeau, you get there's some names out there. I can't remember this guy. He got a real Frenchy name. He's like a 6'9" guy. He played with a small conference, I believe, or maybe I can't remember his name. Had a real Frenchy name, but I looked at him. I seen his name. I seen him play. He looked pretty good. 6'9". His name is out there. It's another name. Something Martin, the twin brother to one of these guys that's in the league. Yeah, his name is out there too. There's a couple of guys that in the draft, but they got to come in here. They got to get acclimated to playing basketball as an NBA player. They got to learn how to play 82 games instead of 36 games. I think they play in college and stuff like that. Different ball game, man. NBA, nothing but men. All about. No boys allowed. So, something to think about. But I don't know if the Knicks really want to play in the drafting no more. They have a team and they can make drafts, and they have picks to make drafts with young players. That's the type of team that you want to. That's the type of team, a homegrown team. Almost all these guys that we got here are pretty much, 4 of our starters I'm sorry. 3 of our starters is all players that the Knicks, bought here. And Brunson came in on a trade, so did Randle. Came in on a contract, and so did Randle. They both came on an offseason. They wasn't traded here. Julius Randle wasn't traded here. Brunson wasn't traded here. So we got guys, and in our bench, same thing, except for Josh Hart. Josh Hart is the only guy that actually has been traded here in a couple of years. Everybody else came in the offseason. So the iHards, Obi is our guy. IQ was our guy that we picked. So these are guys that they have homegrown and grown with these guys. We talked about all year about growing these guys up, using our youth and all this stuff. Tom Thibodeau has done that. Everybody talks bad about Tom Thibodeau, but one thing you can't say, Tom Thibodeau, all our starters except for Deuce McBride, which is probably like our 10th man off the bench that we have acquired in trade. I mean, in the draft. And I mean, he's the only person that really doesn't get no burn. So let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, real talk. His situation is different because he got IQ in front of him.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, quick grind. But you know what? I look at it, man. When I listen to Julius Randle on the Paul P podcast P. I'm sorry, Julius Randle said a lot of good, interesting things, man. And I just think you got to get a man respect with respect to dude. The cat is a hard dude, man. But he got a lot of experience there, man. Julius Randle got a lot of experience there. Played under Kobe. Played with a lot of good guys, man. He's been around some real dogs, man. AD, everybody. So but I just think that he earned his money, man. And he took less money to stay in New York. Julius Randle could have got a $200 million contract.
Easy.
He took less money to stay, and he put up the number. Talked about how Jalen brother has made him better because people don't really. He right about this here. I got to give him this credit on this. Before Jalen Brunson come here, everything had to go through that dude. Everything, because RJ was just growing up. Julius Randle, since he's been in New York, and really had no dogs. When I mean dogs, I mean dogs. I mean good, talented ball players. Since he been, other than when Mook Morris was here and they left. You know what I mean? But think about who he been carrying. These last 3 or 4 years. Julius Randle been really, literally playing with that talent he got. For everybody was keying on Julius Randle. Everything. It was like, okay, we want to beat the Knicks. Key on Julius Randle. And then Julius Randle talked about it. With Jalen Brunson coming here, it was like probably one of the best things that ever happened to him because now it took all that pressure off him. The pressure they was putting on with the double teams and the triple teams and trying to carry a franchise who got a bunch of young players or a lot of veterans who was just only on at the end of their wheel per se. And I respect Julius Randle for that, man, because he not a lot of guys can take the smoke in New York. A lot of them can't take the smoke in New York. And Julius Randle, like he said, man, I always had respect for Julius Randle, but he did show me some other side of him in that podcast P episode. It was really interesting. You know what I mean? So I think that's where the Knicks are at. I think the Knicks are just like this here. Listen, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett is right, and they're my main three. Where if one of them get moved, no one ain't Jalen Brunson. But Julius Randle, man, it's gonna be hard to replace that dude, man. He's gonna be hard to replace some numbers he's putting up. And they don't come easy nowadays in the NBA. But if so I think he'd be one of the guys going into the next season, more focused. He was talking about how, a lot of guys that he learned from, they get better as they get older, and that's him. He gonna keep getting better as they get older. And JJ and I agree with that, man. You just got to put the supplementary pieces around these guys. The Knicks is that close, man. Julius Randle is not lying. The Knicks are that close. They are that close to really competing out there. They just need a couple of players or two, and they ain't got to be a superstar. But if it is one, I like the road that Shaw Powell took with KP. I've been on that one for a minute. I just think he makes a lot of sense for the Knicks because position wise. But Zion thing, well, you obviously taking on you're doing something different, and I don't think and I tell you, as far as Bradley Beal, that's never going to happen. A lot of people, I hear people on Twitter blasting Leon Rose, talking about he didn't, they only got this here for Bradley Beal. They can, ladies and gentlemen, he wasn't coming here. Number one, Bernstein, CEO of the Phoenix Suns, his agent is Bradley Beal, is his agent. Number one, the father who the CEO of the Phoenix Suns, his son is Bradley Beal's agent. That's number one. Number two, Bradley Beal had a no trade clause. He can go where he want to go.
Right.
The Knicks could have gave him 18 picks, and he would have been like, "No, I don't want to go there." So everybody got to stop throwing this crazy smoke like at people. When you got a no trade clause, only so many players in the league had that over the Carmelo Anthony. A couple of players. Yeah, so that right there, I think I just want to put that out there because I know when his name was out there, everybody thought that the Knicks would just blow. When you get to Twitter, everything is just it don't matter what it is. Everybody got something negative to throw about the Knicks, but that situation was in his hands and his hands only. Right, JJ. He had all the power. So he wasn't. He was going where he wanted to go, and not only that, he could dictate the trade because he dictated, yeah. And people may think it's a bad trade, but no, you know why it's not a bad trade? They got rid of the contract. See, they get a lot back, but what they did do? They got rid of a $200 million contract. So to them, okay, we might not get crazy pieces, but we got a lot. We took a lot of money off the book. Chris Paul probably wound up in LA with the Clippers. Landry Shamet can get traded. They play out his contract. So at the end of the day, they got rid of a $200 million off their books, and that's a win to me. But so and obviously after today's shot powers, Kyle Kuzma, he opted out, to become a free agent. A lot of guys opted out today, become a free agent. So, I think that stuff like that to me is like you couldn't even bring him here with Julius Randle because he wasn't coming here no way. He wasn't going nowhere but the Phoenix, like I said, and I think that was all set in stone. But for Julius Randle, we didn't need him. We got Julius Randle, RJ, and Brunson. Don't get me wrong. If you tell me you can bring LaVine in here without getting rid of them three, I would say go for it. You said you could bring in Zion without losing them three, I would say go for it. But I just think that I don't know if the Knicks gonna do that because of where they at. But there's one guy, and I'm glad he came in the chat. My man, White Falcon. White Falcon been preaching playoff P. Paul George for the last couple of years. White Falcon, good to see you, my man, because he's been on the Paul George train for a minute. So he's another guy I would love to see in New York City. Oh my God, that's a timetable player with skills. So I would have to say that's crazy. JJ, I would have to really think about that, man. I would have to think about that. Nas Reed, he could do some things with a basketball. I just think that we get limited by a White Falcon, man. You coming in here with the smoke tonight, my brother? Because I'll take that right there. That'll put us over the top. Poor Zingers and PG. What? Yeah, my man. I ain't got no problem with that, White Falcon. Real talk. That'd be crazy right there. For Zingers, Randall, playoff P, Grimes, and Brunson, we going to the finals, cuz. That defense. Who gonna get by playoff P and Grimes? And you got Porzingis back there, man. That'd be nice. Yeah, you're right. And Jay Hart too. They got some stuff they can do, but I like that, man. But that's what I'm saying. You put a guy like Paul P and KP around Randall, Randall don't have to worry about none of that stuff. He could do now. You might see Randall start having 7 assists a game. Cause think about it. Only reason Randall assists Child Power's numbers is not high because sometimes our players don't make the shots. Like look how many shots nowadays RJ missed. Look how many because Mitchell Robinson is limited to a degree, and we didn't really get a full Quentin Grimes yet. So you could manage. I think Randall going to be a walking triple double. He wanted to. We had the talent around him, I just think that you know what. That's why I like guys like KP. Can you imagine double teaming Randall in the post and kick it out to KP, or you double team Randall in the post and Paul George out there, Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, and then I get what Parrish was coming from earlier. It is the efficiency. RJ Barrett 12.9. You can't have that this year. That's a terrible proficiency number, bro. So I understand that, but yeah, man, if you tell me you would send RJ Barrett out to LA for playoff to Paul George, let's get it. Let's get it, Shop Power. That'd be crazy.
I that would be a crazy crew, man. But that would be crazy. I could imagine PG and Grimes out there really super defending. And plus these guys to get some open shots. And now you're talking about spacing on the court. Whoa. You're talking about spacing on the court. There is no double teaming not double teaming, nor is there going to be some zone defense against those type of players that you put on the court. And now you got some 3-point shooting. You got some 3-point shooting from Julius Randle. You got some 3-point shooting from Brunson. You got some 3-point shooting from Grimes, and you got 3-point shooting from PG, from Paul George. You know what I mean? And KP. You know what I mean? So you are the 3-point shooting. We should with a team like that staying healthy. The team average should be around 37-38%. Those guys are lethal, and the backup off the bench would be no joke as well. I mean, and the biggest thing is Paul George staying healthy and KP staying healthy. And I mean, those are two trepidations that we really have to look into.
Mm-hmm.
But a healthy KP and a healthy Paul George with Brunson, Grimes, Randle, come on, man. That you're talking about Eastern Conference Finals right there. That team right there is going to play some basketball for real. You're talking about 50 plus games, 54. We talking about 1 and 2 in the league now. We're talking about beating out Boston and beating out Milwaukee and contending against these teams as well. Not just stat wise, but percentage wise, everything. We would, our offense from the bottom would be more towards the top of the league. We're very low in assist to points. We'll be high in assist to points. Now our efficiency would go up. You know what I mean? And our defense would skyrocket too with Paul and Grimes at the top, with KP. You know what I mean? And there's some stats out there. Like I said, KP is he's number 12 in block shots last season over the whole in the NBA last season. He is he gets to the line. He is 18th in shooting free throws in the league last year. You know what I mean? He shoots 38% from 3-point land, was shooting at 5 assists or better. 5 shots or better. So to bring Paul George, that just had the meeting with, the podcast with Julius Randle, so they buddy. You know what I mean? And that would just change the whole thing around. But the big thing is how do we get Paul George?
You definitely got to put RJ in.
Oh, there's no question about that. No question about that.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about that. And with the guy, we know this ain't happening. We just stand because I just wanted to get my man on White Falcon because he talked about poor PG for a couple of years. But let me tell you something though. Now you got a cat who can go mano-mano with Jimmy Butler. You got a cat who can go mano-mano with anybody in the East when it comes to one-on-one. Paul George is one of the better two-way players on both sides of the ball, period. All these guys, look about it. Zion don't play. LaVine don't play, but he played a little bit. Everybody that we bring into New York, and then every NBA player on that level got injuries. Everybody. And no matter who you want to come to New York, I bet you they've been injured damn near. You know what I mean? They pretty much been injured. You know what I mean? But make no mistake about it, Paul George, even if you keep Mitchell Robinson and just bring in Paul George, that's probably one of the best defense front lines up in the game and in the wing position. Because Quentin Grimes and my man Paul George, that's crazy, man. That's just undeniable crazy what them cats can do on the defense side. So and PG, they call him playoff P. They call him playoff P for a reason. You know what I mean? Because the cat get in the playoffs, he don't shrink. That boy go hard in the playoffs, man. That'll be interesting, man. Like I said, other than injuries, which we got to take that chance. But we know we know we're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't even think the Clippers doing that because the Clippers about to get CP3. So I think they're gonna run it back with Kawhi, Paul George, CP3, and whatever else they're gonna do there. So definitely he's not there. But I just wanted to put that out there because I do think White Falcon would have been on to something. And yeah, Frank, we already know Zach LaVine. I think you can get him without getting RJ or Randle. I really believe that. I think Obi Toppin and Emmanuel quickly. And my man, the master salary is a couple of picks to get Zach LaVine in New York. I don't even think it's going to take a lot to get him. And if you got, that's another one. You got Zach LaVine and my man, like we said earlier, Brunson and Zach LaVine at the 1 and 2. That's dangerous, man. That's dangerous, bro. Oh my God, you talking about a damn near 50-point backcourt, literally. 2 guys in your backcourt, 25 points a game, damn near. You got a 50-point backcourt with them 2 picks. Then you throw in Randall's 24, 25. You got 3 players, 75 points a game or more. That's pretty impressive, you know what I mean? And then Quentin Grimes getting his 12, 15 this year. Your whole start lineup, damn, they got 100 points in the game.
It's a couple of if you look by stats with the type of players that we add onto the court, no stats, just their regular stats, we can have a team that's scoring anywhere from 85 points to almost 100 points a game just in the starting lineup. Not talking about iHard, not talking about IQ, not talking about J Hard in the second unit. I'm just talking about in the first unit. On average, with their scoring, we could be close to like 120 something points a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And the defense is not going to lag off. Everyone thinks that LaVine is not that great of a defensive player, but by stats, LaVine is a better defensive player than RJ is. He beats him out in his defensive rating, his DP. Oh man, I forgot how the initials are, but his ODMP, I think it is, or something like that, and his DM, the defensive and offensive projection on the ball, he beats RJ out in both of those things.
Yeah, he would definitely be. He would definitely be here. And like I said, either way it go, if you get him here with RJ or without RJ, but I tell you what though, that's a damn potent backcourt, man. That's a solid backcourt. You like I said, what was our Achilles heel in the playoffs? That's what you all got to go back to, ladies and gentlemen. What was our Achilles heel in the playoff? We didn't have nobody who could help Jalen Brunson. I said RJ. Right. Don't get me wrong, RJ did it, but at the same time, RJ is still not that shooter that we need as well. Like Zach LaVine literally could pull up from 35 or whatever. You know what I mean? Knock him down with some good efficiency as well. So, but I think that this can get him here with these cats. And I think if he come here to New York, and you got Jalen Brunson, him, RJ Randle, Mitchell Robinson, the Knicks will go to the Eastern Conference Finals. No question about it. No question about it. I think him, Brunson, and Randle, and RJ, and Mitchell Robinson, you know what? And Willie Cruz, I agree with you on the ISO thing, man. And you know what? That ISO ball got us down to what we got to this year. I agree with you on that. That's real talk. But here's one thing he can also do though. See, Zach LaVine can get the catch and shoot going. We don't have catch and shooters. We don't have a lot of guys who can catch and shoot. Quentin Grimes is that, to me, is that guy once he get it going efficiently, like maybe he'll coming off a better year. But other than Quentin Grimes, who's that cat who you can sling that ball to and he just can go out there and knock it down? That's what I liked about Obi in the corner, because he can get that ball, and that was his game, catch and shoot. Zach LaVine can do all that. He can shoot off the dribble, catch and shoot, everything. And if Jalen Brunson having an off game or Randle, you best believe that boy will get his. So I mean, we would have to do some adjustment there, but I don't have a problem with him whatsoever. He understand the Knicks culture. He understand Tom Thibodeau and them. He get it. Yeah, so it's a good look. It'd be a really good look for the Knicks, and I'm hoping that something like that cat. But because you know what, no matter what, if you move RJ from him, that's good too. Because now you got Brunson, Randle, and Zach. You know what I mean? And Quentin Grimes. Him and Quentin. That I tell you what, our 3-point percentage be way better with Zach, Grimes, and Brunson. Brunson shot 41% this year, 40% from downtown. We know the year before Grimes, really the first year, he shot 38 for. Him and Fournier were the only 38% shooters down that year for the Knicks. We know what LaVine could do with the outside shot, and Randle, I think with them taking the pressure off of Randle can knock him down too. Because I think long as we got Jalen Brunson here, ladies and gentlemen, we always going to be an ISO team. Let's not get it twisted. With Jalen Brunson at the point guard, we will be a heavily more offensive team, because that's the way he played ball. That's the way Julius Randle played ball. But they're not selfish though, because that's a good thing. Even though we got ice ball, they're not selfish, Willie. And I think that might make a difference. We will get exposed on the defense side, no question about it. You're 100% right, Will. We will get exposed on the defense side. Jalen Brunson, LaVine, RJ and them, we will get exposed. But but I think you had to go hard by committee. But I really think that I would have to take that, man. We just got to have a real strong, solid bench to come in there and beat them, scrapping dirty guys. I think we'd be all right, because one day I can say they might not be great defenders, but they put in the effort. And I think a lot of defense is effort. But let's see. Andre Walker said, Zach coming to New York is growing on me. I might feel it. That. We'll see how it goes. I'm cool with Zach LaVine. I'm cool with this dude, man. I just think he got the game. He got that type of game to help the New York Knicks. We definitely got a lot of guys like Randle. He don't get late. He still only shoot 34% from downtown. They ain't like they shoot league average. You know what I mean? but them cats shooting over league average. So we'll see, Shot Powell. It'll be interesting to see, man. But this is one of them names that's out there. But other than that, the draft, Shot Powell, I think the draft thing is I think the Knicks doing it just because they're going to lose some players. People may not want to agree with that, but I think the Knicks going to lose some players. They're going to try to get in the draft, get another, like I said, get another Maynard quickly in the draft, get another Grimes in the draft, get another McBride, and let them grow and sit the bench because they're trying to win. So they got to come in here and try to pay dividends unless they that good. If they that talented, then, because you still got Keels here. You still got DeQuan Jeffrey. You still got Roby. You still got a lot of young guys here. I don't think the Knicks might bring all of them back, but what would be the only reason the Knicks go into the draft? They ain't getting nobody coming in and playing a rotation. So it got to be somebody to fill gaps without taking on big salaries. Like I said, a 25th pick is like $2 million. Quentin Grimes, man, quickly depending on what you give them. But so I don't know. I think what reason would the Knicks will get up in the draft? It remains to be seen. I just think they got a lot to do with they know if they lose Obi Toppin, they know if they lose quickly them. They're gonna want to get in there and get a young talent that they feel like can grow with the organization for the next couple of years. And if somebody get hurt, they can go in there and pay dividends.
Yeah, I mean, it's ramping up, man. By tomorrow, Thursday, the next couple of days, it is going to even get. You think it's intense now, seeing all these things on Twitter and YouTube and all these other stations. You see a lot of chatter about who's going this, who's doing this. I'm going to say, what I want, what I would like, rather. I would like to see Zach here. I can see Zach. I would like to see KP here. We don't necessarily have to have both. I think if we get one, we will be fine. I got off of the Turner thing. I see that Turner's about to sign another contract, so I'm not really with Cat. But if we could get someone to stretch the ball out on the 3-point position, and keep that man that matches up with the center, matched up instead of them roaming around a little bit with doing the double team on Brunson and Julius Randle. I think we have a good look if we get KP. I mean, anybody else? I don't see the Siakams. I didn't hear anything about Siakam. I didn't hear anything about OG. But they're talking about LaVine. They're talking about and they're talking about they're talking to teams, that specific teams. I think it was how they said it, something like that, like singular teams that they think, and who's more specific than the New York Knicks? Young players, draft capital. And they can make them fit. You know what I mean? And if you, like you said, giving up a $200 million contract, you might take a little less because you're giving up a big contract. You know what I mean? So I think you gotta keep your ear listening to what's gonna happen with LaVine. You gotta keep an ear on listening to what's gonna happen with KP. Is he gonna be signing? If he's gonna sign that contract for $36 million, because I think that's about as much. That $36 million that KP gets is probably going to be his last $36 million that he gets in his career. I don't know if KP, unless he come back this year and play 82 games and he's a all NBA, all star, and all that other stuff. But let's see what happens, man. I think for me right now, the LaVine thing is hot. The thing for me right now is the KP thing is hot because of what Washington's doing. And if we stay pat, I'm almost fine with that as well. You know what I mean? Our big accomplishment would be signing J Hart. But then at the beginning of the season, we got to worry about signing OB and IQ. You know what I mean? Their offers is coming up. So what we gonna do? I mean, you got to follow the money. And I mean, right now we're like $9 million in tax. Not much, but we're in the cap. We're not at the apron, I think they call it, the max at the cap, the max, and then like we're nowhere near like what Golden State is right now. Golden State, Golden State. I don't know what they're gonna do. They probably gonna blow it up. They are playing about. I think about $250 million they're paying to their players or something like that, and they're paying about $250 million in taxes. You know what I mean? Now that really doesn't mean much to them because they're a winning style of team and all this stuff, but that's still 250. They paying about they're paying like $500 million over there, man. They probably gonna want to break that up and stuff like that. And what we don't want to do is get to that max apron. We have I think we're about $9 million into the tax threshold right now. And I think before we get to that super max or that cap at the top of the luxury tax, I think we have about 17 more million dollars to go there, something like that. If we going in $17 million, we better be bringing in a player or players that's going to take us to that next level before we pay that tax. Now, knowing been to the Garden a couple of times, them tickets is no joke, and that concession stand is no joke. Bottled water, $9. All right, you get you a Aquafina bottle, 16 ounce for $9. All right, unless you got the Chase card, you get a little discount but aside from that, $9. Hot dog, $12. They ain't playing in the Garden. They getting it. Popcorn, $8. A straight drink, $25. You get some alcohol in, $25. So, and they like ain't gonna get the money, but do you want to pay that extra money? You know what I mean? Do you want to pay a tax? You know, a bigger tax than what you're already paying.
Yeah, real talk. Yo, salute to the chat. Andre Walker, Willie Cruz, Sky. I don't even care if Zion come here at night, to be honest with you. I like what the team we have. But I would take Zach LaVine in a heartbeat because I think he fits what we're trying to do. I think we can without moving Randle and RJ and them. I think you can get it done because I think Frank Michael said, they want aspiring. You got two aspirants, Derrick Rose. The money is already there with Derrick Rose and Fournier. That's 37. Right. So, but they want some young talent with that. You still got IQ and Obi, and then you give them a couple of picks. Because you got to think about this here. If you give IQ $20 million, you got to give Obi 15 and 17. If they would ever decide to keep him, that's $37 million right there. You know what I mean? So, and then you got to think about the long. So I don't know. I think Zach LaVine makes a lot of sense to me. And in real talk, and I think it'll be a good look for the Knicks. So we'll see how it goes, man. But it is interesting out there. It is out there, man. But I'm liking what the Knicks are doing. I'm a Yancey about the stuff, man. But I don't have a problem with Zach LaVine coming to New York Knicks. I don't, never did. I did think the man playing some good ball these last couple of years. Haven't been healthy, played quite a few games. So and I'm happy about that. But I think the Knicks going into the draft. Do I think the Knicks going to the draft? Shot power? Yes, I do. I think they're going there for the reason I thought that. They not gonna, if you lose Obi Toppin, it's always talent. It's always talent. One thing about the NBA, to make it to the NBA, you gotta have talent. The Knicks might got their eye on somebody already. They might got somebody. They might got a guy in the draft who they might feel like, you know what, he can shoot the three ball like Obi, but he's a better defender. And he's young. And he could grow a couple of years. So they might got their mind on stuff like that. Like, well, you know what, if we lose quickly, we got to go find another quickly. I mean, and I think that's what Walt Perrin's job is. Walt Perrin's job is to find these cats and scout these cats, scout all of them, and say, you know what, we think this guy got what it takes to be a New York Knick. Go in there, buy a pick, trade up. Knicks got 10 down there, 10-9 picks, whatever, first round picks. They can trade some of them up into the draft. They ain't got no problem with that. That's one thing they won't have a problem with, getting in the draft if they want to get in there. They got too many assets not to get in there. But let me ask you a question. I'm going to throw this out there just to throw it out there. What would be the purpose of the Knicks if Portland wanted to get rid of that third pick to get somebody around Damian Lillard? But I don't think it's going to happen, ladies. I'm just throwing this out there. The Knicks don't even need Damian Lillard to me, right? But they can get that third pick. You know what I mean? Now, here's what's different than a 25th pick and a third pick. You could take that third pick and really flip it for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So you help out Portland, and they send you that third pick or whoever. If you go get Scott Henderson or Brandon Miller with the third pick, you keep him here. That's fine too. But damn, you know what the third pick can do in the NBA. So the Knicks got some really interesting. I wonder what the Knicks even think about that. I don't know what we ran because I think they're in a different mode. I think Knicks is in a win now mode. But let's say if you had to do that, but you take that third pick and put it with somebody and flip it for somebody that's that dude. You know what I mean? There ain't too many out there left. I think everybody locked into where they're going, but I don't know, Shop out. I don't know. I don't know what the Knicks don't want. They're not going to be in the top. I don't think they need to be in the top. But because that's out there, they try to get Damian Lillard in a win now mode. They willing to give it that third pick. I heard they willing to do that.
I mean, Pelicans want. I hear Pelicans want Scoot. Is it Scoot? You know what I mean? If you can get that third pick, it's a possibility that you might can do some three-way trade, something like that. I don't know. You know, I think Scoot might go 2, so that might not even be worth the picks. I mean, unless you could talk to, I don't know who's in the second spot, unless you could finagle something to move a spot back and give them the third pick for the second pick plus another second round pick. I don't know how that will work, but I ain't really doing that with point. And I think did Dame say he was going? I thought I heard some stuff that Dame might be in Miami.
Yeah. I don't. That's gonna be tough with Miami too. I mean, they gotta see where they cap at with Jimmy Butler, him, Bam out of bio, because they Bam out of bio. That's my man. They like boys, but I think that I think they're gonna be. I think he's gonna stay in Portland. They're just gonna try to get some pieces around him because but if they don't, send him out of there. I don't want to come to the East. I don't give a what you say.
That's what I said. Miami, that sounds scary. You put him over there in Miami because they got draft capital, and you know how whatchamacallit play around. They'll give up Hero and the other guy, and it's give 3 or 4 players to get Dame over here. Now you got Dame and whatchamacallit in the backcourt. That's scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey, Kev, my man Kev. Hey, Kev, I don't think that was going to come to fruition. Like I was telling everybody earlier, he was destined for the reason I talked about earlier. That Bradley Beal, the father, the CEO of the Phoenix Suns, his son is Bradley Beal's agent. He had a no trade clause. He can go where he wanted to go. There's really nothing they could do with that. I really don't think, and I think they want that the connection. I think his father being Bradley Beal's agent and he being the CEO of the Phoenix Suns, it was destined. That was destined. And KD and Kevin and KD wanted him. You know what I mean? Because the no Cat was on they from the that same area of Washington. Even though he's from St. Louis, but KD from Maryland area, Washington area, whatever. They played on a U.S. team together. I think that had a lot to do with that. But yeah, I don't think they were going to be able to pull out. That's because they had no trade clause, and he really was determined, destined to go where he wanted to go. So I think that's the only reason I didn't think that was going to happen, Kev. But other than that, that'd have been fire too, though. LaVine would have been fire with that some scoring offense. But so we'll see how it goes. But I really think this thing's going to come down to the get down, and it's going to be there on Thursday night, looking to do something to get up in this draft and make a move just to because like I said, the Keels and the Con Jeffries, you got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, them spying contracts too. A lot of them they not guaranteed.
Roby. All those guys.
Right? Yep. So the Knicks might say, yo, get rid of them contracts, save yourself $10 million, go get another young cat in the draft. But think about it, you let Roby go, you let DeQuan Jeffries go, you let a certain amount of cats go. That's only going to help that money add on to Jay Hart's contract. You know what I mean? Then you go in the draft for the second round or the first round and get you a player like Quickly a grind for $2 million for 4 years on a rookie deal. And that way, you salvaging money, but you also not losing out on talent. So I do think they're going to try to do something a little different, man. That's the only reason I can see that. Tom Thibodeau play 9 guys, ladies and gentlemen.
9.
Nobody coming in the NBA 2023 draft going to play in that rotation. I don't see it. I do not see that happening unless this cat is straight out that dude. He going training camp and bust everybody play, and they got to play him. But if you don't bring a cat in like that, then what's the use of going in the draft for? Like I said, it got to do a lot of. It's more about salary to me, about immediate talent helping the team. Because look at Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride is sitting there. He ain't even getting no burn. So so I don't know how that's what my trepidation is. That I think they're gonna go in the draft. I think my guy going in the draft just to get another player because they're gonna be trading some guys. They might lose some players and they just want to, bring somebody in here who got a chance to grow with the organization. So in a couple of years from now, when they can get a chance to go ahead and help the Knicks. So let's see how it goes. I don't know, Shop Powell, but I don't foresee the Knicks doing anything too crazy. But like I said, so we see how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to everybody in the chat. We're gonna get out here in a few minutes, but we just come in here and talk about the stuff tonight, man, to keep everybody informed what's going on in the Knicks versus this off season. Next we'll talk to LaVine and Shower in the building, man. Make sure y'all run them up with the thumbs up and all that good stuff, man. But Shop out, we look forward to the next journey. By Thursday, we'll hear something. We might hear something, pop off. If not Thursday, Friday, actually the draft night is Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday, but it's Thursday. So between Friday, we get on, with everybody we did today, or we still come on Thursday. We'll see how we get down. But other than that,
I thought everything was tonight and into tomorrow. I'm messed up because I work Monday this week, so it is Thursday. So we'll know what's going on, and we'll hear about some more guys that's either going to opt out or come into the contract thing, and see what's going on and stuff like that. So we'll see what's going on. It'll be something to watch.
Yeah. I'm definitely. I've been on my phone like Twitter like crazy. I'm like, damn, I'm like, this is just coming up. Like he said, Divine coming on Thursday after our big trade. And Frank Monto, give me your gut feeling real quick, Frank. Give me your gut feeling from a percentage standpoint. Zach LaVine being a Knick. These are Divine coming on Thursday.
That's what's up.
All right. So yeah, because like I said. If it happened, it happened. I ain't got no problem with that boy. That boy can get it, man. I like that, man. That's a pulling off. And he said
big number right there.
Yeah, okay. I take the 3-to-1 ratio all day. I'll take that all day, man. So that day, I hope that happens, Frank, in a good way, man. I don't have a problem with that. I think that'd be hard to deal with. I think Jalen Brunson, Zach LaVine, Randle, and even if RJ here or not, that's still hard to deal with. Think about what we would have killed Miami with that lineup. We would have killed Miami with that lineup. You know what I mean? That's what happened to them against Denver. Denver had too much smoke for it. They had too much talent. Not only the Joker, they just had talent. They had a lot of talent. Like put like this here, Jamal Murray is Zach LaVine per se. You know what I mean? In that sense of before they can get the buckets like that. And obviously Julius Randle and Brunson, yeah, Joker and whoever, but. Man, that should be lit, bro. Yeah, I think so.
I'm with it. I've been preaching his name for the longest, man. Him, I got on the tip of looking into Turner, but I think he's about to sign another contract or something like that. But Zach LaVine with Mitchell Robinson and Randle. I mean that's the Brunson. Like you said, Divine, that backcourt is phenomenal. If we can hold on to RJ, if they talking, you just said, they saying RJ grew to like 6'8". I'm about to go look at everything. Once we get off, I'm about to go look at everything that I can find to see if he grew a little bit.
Listen, real quick, just for P Knight's perspective, Plush perspective. Let's just say it is RJ's 20 something million. And Derrick Rose, 15 million. You right at the 40 million threshold. You throw in a couple of picks, and they want Obi Toppin because we ain't gonna sign him anyway. They still got the 18 million Fournier got out there that not even used. You understand what I'm saying? The Knicks is they in that type of position. So you got Derrick Rose off RJ. I'm just using RJ as an example, ladies. I'm not saying the Knicks trade RJ Barrett. I'm just saying I'm gonna use him as an example. You get RJ Barrett and Derrick Rose. And if it's quickly, and a couple of picks for Zach LaVine, and you still got IQ here, you still got Evan Fournier 18 million, what you going to send out to somewhere else? Man, the Knicks would be tough. They'd be tough to build. Because you could take that 18 million. That way you got Josh Hart money there. You gave him his money. So out of that Fournier, 6 million, 7 million that you get over, you're bringing somebody on a mid-level or $4 million deal for Evan Fournier and give Josh Hart his money. And if you still sign quickly, it's game over, New York. That's real talk right there. That's game over. That team is nice. So it can happen. It's really possible, man. And there you go. Hey, Nas, they talking about Nas Reed out there. It's still so many things the Knicks can do, man. I know we could put all these pieces together all night long, but I know Shaw got to get ready to get on the grind. We got to get on the grind. But
I'm good, but I like the way the Nas Reed his playing style and what he could do and stuff like that. but you also got to take into consideration we got Mitchell Robinson, we got Hardenstein, we got Sims already. We got three centers. And I mean, I don't think there's a way that we can sign unless he's coming in for Obi as a backup, unless he's coming in as a power forward to back up Julius Randle. And I don't know if that can happen either.
I think one of them three centers might not be here. And it might
right, that's what I'm saying, because if you're really talking about Nas Reed, we're gonna have to get off of Hardenstein and maybe a Hardenstein at least. You know what I mean? So to back up Mitchell Robinson, and then it all depends on, and who knows, the Knicks might surprise us and get LaVine and KP. Oh, now we could go get Nas Reed, because maybe we might want to move off of Mitchell Robinson and Hardenstein.
Yep.
You know, who knows? You know, we just throwing all this stuff out there to see if it stick. We ain't making none of these decisions and stuff like that. We just throwing it out there. So when it do stick to the wall, we can be like, yeah, we thought about that trade scenario too.
And hey, I'm gonna tell you, that's why I want the Knicks to strike it. I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, Frank Matos, Kyle Kuzma go play small forward for the Cleveland Cavaliers over Alex Okoro. That's a big upgrade. You know, that's why the Knicks got to make sure they do what they do, because if Kyle Kuzma signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers and he take a Okoro spot, move Okoro to the bench, they become stronger. Evan Mobley, Kyle Kuzma, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen, or whoever you might place there. It's not a bad team. But I think that, listen, we got to go get this. We got to go get Zach LaVine. I'm sorry. I'm on that, man. I'm on that. I ain't doing about the injuries now. I just think he fits what we could do with that catch and shoot. We'll see, man. We'll see. But I think it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a really entertaining summer. You know what, the shot power was crazy. That's why I'm glad the Knicks played later on in the season, right? Because you know why? Normally, we gotta wait for 2 months for this stuff to happen. But because they got to May, next week we'll be talking about the end of free agency, July 1st. You know, we'd be around free agency and everything like that the next couple of weeks. So, you know, that's gonna be interesting too, man. Let's see if the Knicks can make some sign and trade. They might do some sign and trade. Let's see what Evan Fournier going to be about. How that contract going to. Right now, he's the main guy that I know. Him and Obi Toppin probably the biggest name from a trade perspective. I think that's out there for the Knicks is got to be Evan Fournier and Obi Toppin right now. Like that, we really think that no matter what happened, the Knicks don't do nothing else. Them two dudes might not be on the Knicks. If nothing else happened, all else fails, I think Obi Toppin and Evan Fournier get done. But I'm really looking forward to the next couple of days, man. It should be fun out there. Now let's go get it. Everybody in the chat, let's get it. LaVine loves Tibbs supposedly too. He does, man. He said even though he Tibbs really did a lot of things for LaVine. He said even though he traded him for Jimmy Butler, but he said it wasn't for Tibbs. Coming in his first year, Tibbs saying go out there and go out there and do your thing. He got a lot of respect. He said he taught me more in 1 year. So I can't be mad because he said it's a business. I understand it. And at that time, you needed Minnesota Timberwolves needed a Jimmy Butler because where they was at trying to get to another level. But so just to know that he feel that way, that's a good thing too, because he ain't got no animosity, no hard feelings. He kind of appreciate what Tibbs did for him. So that'd be a good reunion. You know what I mean? It'd be a good reunion. Tibbs coaches who he got there in his rookie year, him and Cat and them guys and Andrew Wiggins and them guys, man. They was young then. And Cat was young, Wiggins was young, LaVine was young when Tibbs took over that team. So, but now, a lot of people, even like KP. KP was young when he went through that shit with the Knicks.
Yeah.
Got mature. It wasn't really like KP. It was more his brother them. You know what I mean?
It was all about his brother.
It really wasn't KP. KP just had to follow what his brother them was doing, because them were the decision makers. They was his like agents / whatever, you know what I mean? But he matured over his time too. You know what I mean? Like, you learn to forgive and forget and move on. But let's see how it goes, man. I hope Frank Matos is right. I think the Knicks need to do something, Shot Powers. I just think that we just that one piece away, man. Because like I said, if let's hypothetically say if Zach LaVine was on his team last year, Knicks would have went to the finals. No question about it. We'd have smacked Miami with Zach LaVine there, because we wouldn't have had nobody. We'd have had somebody who didn't kind of fold under pressure because they was young. And I think it'll make a difference, man. So let's see how it goes. But listen, everybody, we're gonna get out, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, salute to everybody watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, running out the door. Like we said earlier, man. Thank you everybody who supported the channel. We got to 1,000 subs. We're gonna keep it moving. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. We got our next goal is 2,000. So we're gonna keep it moving, man. and support the show any way you can. We're going to get out there. We're going to start getting the merch popping. We're going to start, getting all this stuff really to the forefront of where we wanted to go. Knicks Real Talk will be on another level going into next season, man. We're going to do everything we got to do to keep this show growing. Me and my partner here, we locked in. We know what our report is like. So we're going to keep the show moving. We're going to people, and we're going to man. But I'm excited about the future of the New York Knicks and Knicks Real Talk, man. Me and Shop Power, we're going to get it popping, man. And for anybody who want to contribute to the show, join the membership club, all that good stuff is out there now. You go check out the channel and become members and everything. We're going to get all this stuff popping, man. So let's get it. Shop Power, give me a last word, my brother. We get out of here.
Salute to you, LaVine. Salute to the chat. Frank Monto, see you on Thursday after that big trade, man. Let's go, LaVine.
Yeah, real talk.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Everybody, I have a good night. We'll see y'all Thursday, Friday. Y'all just looking for the notification and all that good stuff, man. Make sure you hit that thumbs coming going out the door. LaVine, Shaw, Knicks Real Talk, the chat. That's where it's at, man. Peace.
Let's get it.
Time for LaVine, Shaw, KJ events. Knicks Real Talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with the clip. That's the conglomerate. Knicks Real Talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variants, I'm dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, you straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the facade. My entourage be on the job, my energy. 50 tripping in 10 books. As they cook my game plan, let my brand for loop and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We create the logo when there's hair space that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's 50 Jacksons on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like stars divine on Mount Mars. Knicks Real Talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks Real Talk.
right here.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks Real Talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks Real Talk.
We here.
Here we go,
in the
let's go.
building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes,
Let's
sir.
get it.